Hey Libra, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. Whoa, these are general readings, so we take what works, we leave what doesn't. And if I don't catch a wavelength or storyline on this reading, you can check your other major placements. We're starting off with a mix of Moonology and Urban Crow this morning for an intuitive vibe of where we might be going. And then we'll move on to the Muse deck for a more traditional tarot spread. All right, so we have a community. We might be talking about a group of people that work together. One of my favorite things about corvids is that they, when they fledge, when they leave the nest, they join up together as a large group, and then this is where they find their mated pair. It's from this large group of basically teenagers and young 20-somethings that are all hanging out together. So that's what's going on here. But this could also be talking more generally about another community, another group of people that you work with or associate with. So something about your community here, being in community with other people. Finding sustenance and life and joy in that, and maybe occasionally frustrations. Taking moments away to do your own thing. Finding a place in that community. And then we have a new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Okay, and the community card also can deal with, reaching out to those people that you feel safest with, that you feel most comfortable with for help during a difficult period. Or just any kind of stress or strife. Where do you take refuge? And hanging out with or reaching out to people that are a refuge for you and are a source of comfort for you, not a source of stress. And then we have this release card here, letting go of something that's no longer working for you. That can be very difficult. I feel like this one really dovetails well with the community one. Letting go of something that's not working for you and reaching out for possibly help in doing that. Just something doesn't belong here anymore, isn't really part of your life, and it can be very difficult to let go of those things, to move on from those things that just don't really have a place here anymore for you. They're no longer of value to you or contributing to your health and well-being. So you may be wanting to turn towards a community, or maybe perhaps there's a community that you are releasing yourself from that is no longer of value or worth to you, or of not of value or worth, right? Because everybody's worth something, but it's just no longer working for you. So you could be turning to a community and support as you let go of something, and maybe reframing a loss as a letting go of, or something along those lines. And you could be reaching out to people for some assistance with that. It could also be, though, a community that no longer feels supportive to you or no longer is a refuge to you, that you do feel like you need to move on from and move away from. And then we have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. So this is about you've been striving towards something, you've put in a lot of work towards something, and it is going to pay off. There's some promise here. That something that you've worked towards and something that may have been a struggle for you is maybe releasing something from your past that no longer works for you, or is, you can see now that this time has come to let that go. I'm seeing like something worn out, like some worn out underwear that, as a metaphor, it just is not really up to the job anymore, and it's time to let it go. Although, why would you be attached to that? And you certainly don't need community support for something like that. But it's something that, maybe you don't need maybe an untunable piano in your living space, taking up space, and you don't really need it anymore. No one's going to play it. You might need some help moving it. But you finally found, you've known for a while possibly that you needed to let go of something, and it's been really difficult. You've worked hard to let go of this, and you could be achieving some sort of release on that. yeah, you're ready to move on. And it looks like you've worked really hard to prepare yourself to be ready to move on, and that you've done a lot to do that. All right, Libra. Let's see what the Muse has for you. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, to-do list, possible outcome. So looking at the major arcana here for an overall idea of what we might be, what we were talking about here, we have the reverse sun. So cloudy, lack of clarity, something's just not quite clear. You can't see it, and then we have the star card also as a. But you will be getting a moment of glimpse. I like that the sun is a star, right? So so there will be a glimpse coming for you of that you're exactly where you need to be. So, and you'll get that message. All right. In your recent past, we have 4 voices. We have something that has been on pause for a bit. A little bit of that's going to be our 4 of Swords, our time of release and rejuvenation, refreshment. I want to say returning to some sort of source of renewal, some kind of renewal here, time out, time away from maybe conflict, or time away from discussions and conversations, and time away from it's like a silent time. It's like a quiet time. There's been a little bit of a quiet time here. There's been some renewal in that time, and hopefully you've been able to take advantage of that. There might have been a little bit of a vacation, might have been a break from some sort of community, from a person, or just a break from a certain activity. And this has given you a sense of renewal. And yeah, a sense of renewal, and being able to sort of take a break from something. In your current situation, we have Page of Materials. So this is our Page of Pentacles. Page of Materials here. Like somehow, so then quite. All right, Page of Materials. We're just learning about something, beginning something, starting a new job or a new position or a new degree, or moving into a new place. So materials are very material, right? They're tangible. We can touch them and feel them. So this Page of Materials is about just learning. The pages are learning, discovering, getting the initial ideas down. So starting a new job or a new position, maybe seeing where you want to go, how you want to grow here, where you want to head, where you want to go, and envisioning that, and starting to learn sort of some really physical nuts and bolts of that. So starting something new, starting it up. And even if you've done it again, you can always return to sort of beginner mind, and forgetting the sensation of knowing where you're going, or knowing things, and going back to that sensation of and that admission that you may not know everything. And so being a beginner, so even if it is like something you've done before, you're beginning again. So a new cycle begins, a new part of the situation, a new journey. You could have even just finished a level, and then now you're on the next level, like in a video game. So so a new level here, something, new things to learn and new things to do. And in your inner landscape, we have 10 of Emotions. We have, so this is your 10 of Cups. This is, you're hoping for a success. You're hoping for satisfaction. You're hoping for emotional satisfaction, sort of a plateau where you can sit there and enjoy sort of all that life has brought you, all that life has to offer. Look, there's a community in this one too, which I find funny or interesting, because normally in the 10 of Emotions, we see just a small family unit, basking in a moment of peace and joy. But this, we have a whole community. So this has a sensation of like celebrating and basking in a whole community with joy. It almost looks like almost looks like you're on stage together doing a dance routine together or something, and that joy that the body can contain and express. So a very expressive joy. Something's been completed, you're just beginning something, but maybe you're envisioning like where it goes and how it completes, and how you work maybe even with a community to accomplish something and achieve something. So your 10 of emotions is something everybody's dreaming of, that happiness, that success, that joy. And this one really has a sense of community to it, and a joy of working together. And then we have the Sun card here in reverse. So this is what's at issue. You can't really see where it's going. You can't really see your path. There might be some sort of disconnect. There's not maybe a broader vision. There hasn't been any fruits of the labors. You know, normally the Sun card is this exuberant success. Everything seems very clear. But in reverse, nothing seems very clear right now. Possibly there hasn't been some success, so there's no exuberance about the success. It's like, we're still in the dark here. Everything's still in the dark. We're hoping and dreaming for this exuberant success with our community, but everything's kind of still in the dark. It looks like the dawn hasn't come yet, and everything, and there's not a lot of clarity. There's not a lot of seeing or knowing. There's not knowing here. Yeah, there's a lot of not knowing here, which makes sense if you're in the page of materials, because you're in the page, you're learning, you're not knowing, you're learning. You're discovering, you're on a path of discovery and uncovering, something, a new task or a new ability. So we're still in the dark though. Nothing's come to fruition, nothing's harvested. There's still a sense of a seed in the ground, and we haven't reached the sun yet. So I think this is a promising card actually in the reverse here. It means that you haven't achieved all that there is to achieve in this. You're barely emerging. We've got this little baby card, the baby of materials, just learning about the world. That's what I'm going to call the page from now on. Baby of materials. The baby of materials, just learning about something, just discovering and exploring, maybe even your own hands and your own feet. I love how babies they touch their own bodies and they're like, this is a foot. They don't even know the name. They're just like, what is this? It's so amazing. So you're still just a seedling here. You're still a baby. You haven't achieved or accomplished anything on this realm. So that seems good though. I mean, you're just the baby. You're just the page. Or you're beginning again and you're starting over. So why would we have a Sun card at this point anyway? So in your environment, we have the Knight of Pentacles, or the Knight of Materials. So the Knight of Materials is very slow moving. This could be communication coming in, but it's very slow, drip, 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 bit by bit. There could be a plan being developed here. Again, it's material, so it's in the real world. We have just this, we're the baby, and then there's somebody else here that might be a little bit further along in our environment that's helping to show us the way towards where we want to go. But it's all very slow moving. Something in your environment, the communication, the planning, this is all very slow moving, which makes sense too, especially with COVID. There are a lot of things that have just like gone into some sort of slow-mo speed, where normally you could finish something in a week, to get that task done in a week. Now you've got to figure out what the office protocol is and make an appointment, and that appointment's 2 weeks in the future, and then it's just like a lot of things have slowed down, way down. And so that's this Knight of Materials, very slow moving, plodding, getting down the pattern, understanding before moving forward. So there could be communication coming in little by little, an overall plan being developed, being communicated about, being revealed, but it's very slow moving, right? We've got the Sun in reverse here. We're just slowly turning towards the sun, a slow rotation here. So the communication, the movement's all very slow in your environment. It is moving, but it's moving slowly. And then your to-do list, the area of your greatest growth, which is funny because I feel like every card here like makes perfect sense in its position. Like we've got the 10 of emotions of your hopes, like, yeah, who doesn't want full happy life, right? And then this is another one in a similar vein. This is the use of emotions. This is going to be our King of Cups. So this is emotional maturity, being able to handle everything that comes our way, being very zen about it, being able to handle your emotional liquor is how I see this with these. They're drinking of their emotional cup, they're absorbing their emotions, they're integrating their emotions into their bodies, into who they are. But they're doing it very smooth, very, very intentionally. There's an intention about these emotions and these engagement with these emotions. So you're engaging with your emotions, not in it with any intent to control them, not with any intent to ignore them. You're engaging with them in a way where you're receiving information and you're absorbing it into all of the information, right? Our bodies are here. So emotions to me are in the body. They're like another sense of the body, like eyes, sight, and hearing, and all of that. And the feelings, and they're just another one of those, and they're there for our information, for us to figure out what to do with them. So where you can be very zen about them and just be very intentional about how we're integrating them, how we understand them. You know, the baby, right, has this like immediacy, but this is and this page of materials, or the page of the baby has this like every feeling is like, oh my gosh, there's another feeling, and physical and all of the physical sensations of being in a body, very shocking, and rule the baby's day and the baby's caretaker's day. But the Muse of emotions, this is a king. This is someone who is able to really play with those emotions and understand them, and they're not ruling them, but they're also not ignoring them. It's just a full integration of those emotions. So a king, not the baby. So you're being called to be really sort of in control of your emotions and really absorbing them and understanding them. And I find that interesting. I wonder how this is going to play in with this release card, as far as like feeling something and allowing some sort of release, allowing some sort of letting go, and being sort of more taking your emotions under advisement and understanding the wisdom that they contain, but also making choices and decisions that are healthiest for you. So as you're working in your community and as you're working on releasing, also, you know, just being very emotionally mature and intentional with your feels. And then we have where you might be headed is the Star card. So something might really, this could be fame, fortune, but this can also mean like that spotlight of destiny shines on you. There's like a moment where you know you're exactly where you need to be, whether that is fame, but there's some sort of sense of recognition from the universe. Yes, you are right where you need to be. Yes. This is where you need to go. You're exactly where I want you to be. So there could be, there's just a moment in the spotlight here there's some sort of confirmation that comes in, some sort of understanding that you're exactly where you need to be. Like a date with destiny coming up here. And I like it because it's reminding me of your hard work is paying off, right? You've worked maybe even with your feelings, your emotions, but now we've got this date with destiny coming up to affirm all of the work you've done here. All right, Libra. Well, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. And I hope you have a great fortnight.